Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark.
Lewis had 13 and 7 against Western Illinois. She was second team All Big Ten a year ago, but a good feed inside, and Sanano with the finish. Clark has it. Pull up, knocks it down. Creates some space, but just operates the offense. Inside, kicks out to Clark. Long three, cans it. And a board grabbed. It's Julie P, who's been all over the place in this fourth quarter. That one's taken away. Caitlin Clark all alone, just her in the hoop. Stop. Good facilitator, averages over 5 assists for Bill Fenley Squatters. Here's a takeaway. Marshall 1-on-3. Kicks back to Clark. Long three, good. That zone defense is collapsing down. Here's the kick out. Clark, a long three, big shot. Count out any team for Lisa Bluter. Marshall in. She has it back to the logo now. 15 on the shot clock. It's Warna. Feed. Sanano. Near side block. Clark. Long triple. Good. Caitlin Clark, another triple. Right now it's empty. Nothing clicking offensively. Sanano will give a screen. Clark, contested three, it's good. Are you serious? Caitlin Clark, a huge three. Iowa leads by 2. A gaudy bucket late in this game. You cannot be serious with that shot. A contested fall away. And Caitlin Clark gives Iowa a 2-point lead.
Zone defense with a steal from Iowa as they bring up the ball right now. Caitlin Clark gonna pull that one from deep. That's good. Clark's gonna bring the ball back down and feed it in over the head of Bostic. Good cut from Clark. She'll get the basketball and get the and one. And the board from Clouden with the float. 12 points on the night. Oh, man. And Clark definitely wanted a 4-point play on that one.
Basket by Monica Sanano. Caitlin Clark.
Sonano. And picked up off the floor by Martin. Here's Clark. The escape dribble into the three-pointer. And also Sharon Goodman, a freshman from Lime Springs, Iowa. Clark from way downtown. Nothing but net, Caitlin Clark. Here to Champaign from Iowa City for this one. Steal by Clark. Defense got back nicely, Peebles, but Clark still scores. I think that volleyball schedule will be a lot of fun with those back-to-back, especially when you get some of those rivalry matchups. And of course, the Big Ten, I'll go ahead and say it, the best volleyball conference in the country of the screen. Big Ten is the best conference in volleyball. Yeah.
I'll shed the objectivity.
It's the same pronunciation as the Italian name Scalia. It's pronounced Scalia. Clark inside and the foul. Tough drive. Lexi Civilian's played a lot of minutes, the 6th most for Iowa. She hasn't produced a ton, as Clark with a long triple is good to tie the game at 14. 6 of 11 from 3 as Minnesota up by 16. Clark inside, steps through, and gets to the friendly roll. Clark goes now with 8. Down to 5 on the shot clock, around the screen, inside, through traffic, throws it up, it's good. She'll go the other way. No numbers, but still takes it inside through traffic. It's deflected, tracks it down, thought about the flip, instead the corner 3, and it's good.
And she certainly was a presence against the Badgers a few days ago. And there is Shaw deflecting that pass. What a pass, though, from Sonano, and it came from Caitlin Clark. I'm not sure how she slipped that through, but somehow she did.
Courtney Shaw making a nice deflection there, then Clark getting the ball only where Sonano. I've used the word poise a couple of times so far. Veronica Burton and other players. You see Sonano once again down low in the lane. She's going to be a problem for Northwestern with that 6'3" size.
And it's one and done here for Northwestern. Clark with her 6th shot, and that one is her first three-point make, and Iowa's first three-point make.
At her and still maintain her composure to finish.
Clark, Iowa looking to get her going in the first points.
But a player like Clark takes so much attention on the scouting report. Other players have to step up.
Here's Clark, and that's her first 2.
Caitlin Clark, hard to guard. That's why you want someone like Braxton Miller there. But Caitlin Clark reading the defense.
The most in her career, averaging some career highs. Putting in about 8 minutes here off the bench. And oh, look out, Clark is heating up.
From getting that type of range, she's proved that she can hit from about 24, 25 feet. Does a nice heads-up play, understanding how much room she had to shoot.
Here's Clark for 3, heating up. Ooh, it's like automatic. Now 8 assists on 15 made baskets for the Hawkeyes, and they're hunting for some more. Gave them some nightmares, thinking about trying to stop her. In terms of a positionless post, here's the 15-footer for Clark.
Buckets from the freshman.
Right, the equipment managers were out there with some screwdrivers, I think, before the game today. Here's Caitlin Clark again. That time she doesn't miss.
Yeah, bring it up. Caitlin Clark, 1 of 3 on her 3-pointers today.
Iowa pushes behind Caitlin Clark. Might have pushed off. Hits the 14-footer. 5 straight now for Caitlin Clark. Are you taking credit for her? Caitlin Clark muscles her way inside short corner. And in the blink of an eye, Caitlin Clark brings Iowa within 1. Look at this. Carissa McLaughlin blocks by Clark, out of bounds. Purdue ball.
This Northwestern's defense doing something to one of the best players, not only in the conference, but in the country. Things that haven't been done to Caitlin Clark this year, and they're doing it again. Here's Clark. That's her first bucket and her first points of the game. Burton kind of shading that double team look there for Sonano. Another offensive chance here for Iowa. Clark will pull and fire and hits, and it's a possible 4-point play for the freshman.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark, I mean, that's what we've seen all year from her. Just that ability to take the hit, the concentration.
Here's Clark looking for more, going inside that time. She's got a quick 5 points. Look out. It'll be the third on Paige Mott on the Northwestern side as we go back to the Clark bucket.
Yeah, and they're
Pulliam with 10 points in this quarter, 3 of 5 shooting, and Northwestern on the push. And they turn it over, so a possible easy lay-in for Clark.
That's off the left iron, and Warnock gets the board, but this Iowa offense has been clicking on all cylinders so far this year, and Monica Sonano takes the early lead.
Yeah, we actually just saw the Gophers end that streak when they faced Purdue in their matchup, so maybe we'll see that today.
Caitlin Clark's going to take the three from the right wing, and she got it. Already 77 points. They're second in the Big Ten and third in the country with 88 points per game on average. Another Gopher turnover. Caitlin Clark's going to take it, and she's good for the easy layup.
Yeah, Monica Sonano, she said, Coach Bluter said to stay mad and to play mad. And, you know, not to the point where you're out of control. Get right inside on Patty. And then Caitlin Clark right here sizing it up and flipping that pass right up and over into the hands.
Well, Bluter in Iowa are going to make Ohio State try to shut that down with Monica Sonano. It's going to be hard to shut down that pairing there between.
That sped them up in the first meeting, and they played too slow going through that.
Well, they are eyeing and flying and pulling the trigger.
Moving the way that she wants it to move, so she's still making that adjustment.
There's a hesitation move there for Clark, and she finishes it off with the right hand. Civilian getting some time as well on the perimeter. And nowhere for Caitlin Clark to go, or is there? She turned the corner and found something out of nothing.
Jalen Penn and she had a conversation, and her senior guard told her that she has decided to opt out for the rest of the season. Another bucket for Iowa. And then just as quickly, Indiana gets another bucket by Grace Berger.
Oh, you see the confidence of Clark. As we talked to Terry Morin yesterday, you would think her team was not in great shape. I mean, she's one of those dialed-in competitive coaches, you know. She's talking about everything they need to fix, but they're doing a lot of things right. And speaking of doing things right,
Caitlin Clark with the ball in her hands, the freshman with 23 points on the afternoon. And
Clark with a nice crossover, and no one rotates over into help position in time. Allie Patberg.
Sonano got stopped in her tracks by Holmes. Mackenzie Holmes, what a game. 25 points, 12 rebounds. She has some blocks to go along with it.
5 to shoot. Clark to work. Deep three for Clark. And that one rolls home. What a quarter for Clark. She's got 13 first quarter points, and Iowa takes a 6-point lead into the break.
This is exactly what she does. What is that, 40 feet? You got to get your tape measure out just to measure the confidence that it takes as a freshman to show that type of range. Damian Lillard-esque. Caitlin Clark has Iowa rolling here after one quarter.
Iowa with the edge on the glass, 15-9 rebounding, 9 of those defensive, but that means 6 offensive rebounds for Iowa. No need for an offensive rebound there as Caitlin Clark. Pace plan has almost switched sides here. Nebraska wants to play with pace, and Iowa wants to grind this thing out. Clark, deep three. Oh, a dagger for Caitlin Clark. That may have been the finishing blow.
I left my measuring tape in the car, but I mean, that's got to be, again, a 40-footer. Shot clock expiring. This is when you take those types of shots into shot clock situations, and she just, it's such a pretty release, perfect form, and she gets that to go. All about just trying to stay down low, create second chance opportunities.
Look at Monica Sonano run the floor.
Iowa wants to play at an up-paced, fast tempo.
Off the miss, McKenna Warnock has the rebound. Clark with a long pass up to Marshall. How about the vision for Clark, and Marshall makes it count?
The player is the way she sees the floor. Look at the vision, always looking up, gets the ball to only where a teammate can score. She looks like Peyton Manning throwing down. Yes, Burke hits that triple, but it's because Beverly took a dribble in, drew the defense. Burke is even more open now to knock that down.
So another 8-0 run for Penn State here that Clark silences. Warnock blocked by Cash. Ball gobbled up by Sonano for Iowa. Clark, oh my gosh, 32.
Caitlin Clark at the Iowa logo. Why not? As the shot clock winds down.
Lisa, we just said the importance of Iowa checking off Maryland and not giving them second chance opportunities. Maryland made them pay on that one.
Shading towards Caitlin Clark's side. She'll pull and fire and hits. Boy, oh boy, 2 for 2 for the freshman. And she's done a really good job in the last few games getting to the free throw line, averaging about 6 to 7 attempts. Logo shot for Clark. She makes that look like a layup. Collins for the first personal.
I said Clark Kent has nothing on Caitlin Clark when she is feeling it from range. Her teammates know where to find her.
And the transfer from Cal. Angel Reese challenging that shot, and Caitlin Clark trying to appeal some contact after that.
One rebounder in the area of possibly getting their hands on the ball. So you have to settle in and play composed. Or you can take a logo 3. See, Kenray Johnson has the matchup with Caitlin Clark, and she always has the better offensive players.
3 points here.
But right there you saw Kenray Johnson turn your head away for a second. She will find a way to catch that ball and lift it.
Will they give it back to Clark, who's got all kinds of range?
Deeply off of Caitlin Clark, and you can't be that far away from her when she's...
That's a way easy thing to do. I'm sure I'll do it later in this game, too.
Totally. Sorry about that.
Step back there for Caitlin Clark. But 4 on the shot clock, and Caitlin Clark is going to have to pull off balance and off glass, as only Caitlin Clark can do.
I mean, the shot clock is winding down. 2 on the shot clock, and just all glass right in the middle of the square. And she runs back like, that's slight work. That's easy stuff for me. Clark to Sonano. We're going to hear that a lot.
Clark with the block on Hillman. Doing it all. My goodness. Superstar against superstar.
The ball today, please. Perfectly executed. And watch this block. Oh, the young freshman says, hey.
Give her that space and she'll drain it.
In the December matchup between these two, Lewis had a double-double. Little give and go, and that's just easy pickings for Sonano.
Whatsoever, and Sonano doing exactly what she does best. The drop step off the pick and
Trip for Wisconsin, but good effort on the 2 shots they got.
And the Hawkeyes just are way out of sorts right now in offense, but that helps that Sonano's back in the game.
Meyer looking inside as Badgers battle Stapleton. That'll go, and a foul. Wow is right.
That we oftentimes forget about how good she is getting to that rim. Strong side of Sonano.
And then Iowa returns the favorite. Clark rips it off, finds Marshall cherry picking on the other end for 2. Michelle doing so much, like right there. Assisting on one end, getting the steal.
And then drop off that little dime on the weak side.
Look at Holmes' stat line there. The points, the rebounds, the block shots, and watch Caitlin Clark drill the 3-point shot for a possible 4-point play. She could tie the game on that one shot.
This young freshman, Caitlin Clark, oh, she's trying to give you the business, trying to get a touch, and she got a touch all right on the arm as she heads to the line to complete the 4-point play. I didn't see her reach in or break the plane.
Here's Clark from deep. My goodness, the shots that she hits. You just have to shake your head. Spectacular.
Oh my goodness, I stood up and my headset almost fell off of my head. Look at this kid. Caitlin Clark, are you joking? This kid has ice in her veins and a mentality beyond freshman age. They had a couple of turnovers that really cost them down the stretch, so you know that's on the mind of the Iowa players at this juncture. Clark, just stone cold. And you just laugh and you shake your hand after shots like this. Come on, man. I mean, that's a contested, ridiculous three. Right there, footwork on 1,000.
Expect to see that. Bourne, who's at the top of the key, can't step out to knock down that three. For Iowa, expect a lot of zone defense. They'll switch to zone as much as they want to, as Clark, after the steal, lays it in, and Iowa is on the board to start things off. She's 12th in the first 2 points in rebounds and 9th in assists. Step back. Clark, bingo, that's tough. Clark will shoot that from anywhere, knocks one down, as she's got 5 to lead the way early on. Warnock, Clark, ball fake, drives on Porter, step back, 15-footer, that's good. Really impressive is her ability to create space. 27-23. Clark on the outside, lets one fly. Bingo, that's tough. Hand in the face, Clark still knocks it down.
And here's Clark, just as the quarter clock expired.
Oh boy, Caitlin Clark doing Caitlin Clark things at the buzzer.
Warnock had a wide open look. Another opportunity here for Iowa. Clark wants to shoot it, you can feel it, but she gives it up to Czinano. Monica Czinano has not missed here tonight, 6 for 6.
Warnock has been all over the offensive glass. That's her second offensive board. And right here, look at Clark committing defense to the ball.
Farquhar coming up on her, and Clark with a transition two.
For that little jumper, and then, hey, if you're not going to guard her on that weak side.
Second opportunity here for Iowa. Yeah, I was just about to say, that big hand that's right in her face, and Clark will take it right at her, draw the contact, and one for Caitlin Clark.
Throw it up in the air and have a snack. Look at this right here. Right into the teeth of the zone. Primary defender beaten. Secondary defender beaten.
Here is Mack.
Well, it's much easier to pass to break the press than it is to dribble through it.
And Czinano still perfect. Go Monica Czinano's way. That's always a good idea.
Now a screen right there, and then great maneuvering with the basketball. But they have really come to play on the defensive end early in this one.
Clark with the crossover and finds Czinano. The law firm of Clark Czinano.
Watch right here. Nice pass on the wing.
They're certainly happy to have her back. She was actually a starter at the beginning of the year, and Diamond Johnson was the one coming off the bench. And Clark with no three-point makes here so far. She's 0 for 3 before this shot, and that's her first one, knocks it down.
She has the ability to knock in the three ball as well.
Kenna Warnock, I've said this time and time again, I think she's one of the more underrated players in the Big Ten, and there's Clark's first bucket.
And set her team up for success.
Clark again with Winston defending her, gives it right to Czinano for the and one. Cruz determined to take it baseline, and she threw it away. Now a 2-on-1 break here for Iowa. Caitlin Clark to Marshall for 2. Iowa holding for one final shot. Clark sizing it up to take it and make it.
Caitlin Clark right here. You knew she was going to have the ball in her hands for the final dagger of the quarter.
The fours that Maryland has had, the power forward, she can really stretch the floor.
This is the most mobile lineup that I've ever seen Maryland play with in terms of the versatility that they have at the 4 and 5 spot, and there she is.
Clark now with the ball in her hand. Shot clock is dying. She's going to shoot it. And she banks in the 3.
Offensively so balanced, and even maybe more balanced than we thought coming into the Pac-12 tournament. Tara Vanderveer's just had a fantastic season.
This year, both coming courtesy of the Terps. Iowa can score 2. Caitlin Clark all the way.
Bella Stewart, 5'11" guard. Here comes Caitlin Clark quickly down the left side. Fall away, jumper from 12 feet away. Big battle here tonight. Clark with the only basket for the Hawks here tonight. A three-point ball that's not good, and it's rebounded by Kate Martin. Another attempt by Caitlin Clark. So Paige Cody in the game for New Hampshire. Caitlin Clark, long right wing three. That was 27 feet, folks. Nothing but net. She with 7, and it's 43-23 Iowa. Here is Caitlin Clark. Off balance shot, high arcer, and she banks it in. Again, that's 27 feet away. Iowa with the 33-point lead. Widmer. Here's a steal by Caitlin Clark. She anticipated beautifully. Iowa with it on the top of the key, working against this 1-2-2 zone defense. Caitlin Clark down low to Logan Cook, was up for the, makes it 20-12. Iowa with the lead. 1:20 to go. Here's a whistle. 23-14. 4 points for Annie Ramil. Quick down the lane. You cannot rest at all when Caitlin Clark has the ball in her hands. A tripping foul. That'll be her second foul, and she'll come out of the game. And quickly back in is McKenna Warnock working on Taiwo. Here's the shot from 10 feet away, taken by Olivia Ramil. Misses, rebounded now to Caitlin Clark as she steps back, shoots the 18-footer, score.
It was stripped out of there by Tanisha Metcalf.
Just more of that push, and then there's the good back cutting to get a layup on the inbounds pass.
In its offense, here's a step back three, an air ball taken and missed by Jordan Akins, a 6'1" junior from Chicago, quickly into the front court. And Connie Feuerbach gets the lead pass from Caitlin Clark. Is bumped by.
Ball moves to the other side, you make a good second cut. You can get a good position and seal.
Yep. Here's a steal by Caitlin Clark. She reads it beautifully. Goes in for the uncontested layup. Boy, she came a long ways, John, to get that steal.
Another turnover for Iowa, but Gabby Marshall gets it right back. Bit of an awkward turn on her knee there, but she's still on the ball.
And both of these teams like to play really fast. As you see Martin getting the bucket from Caitlin Clark. This is going to be back and forth.
All the way to the cup, a little bit short. Second try, good, and a foul for Caitlin Clark.
Handle the ball in tight places. Watch Tiziano's behind the back, crossover between the legs. I mean, it's as if she's doing a cone drill.
Shot clock low. Harbor Hawkeye lets Caitlin Clark know. What a finish for Caitlin Clark.
But also make sure she doesn't have a great position, so it's not an automatic 2 when she feels a defender on her back.
Shooting 68% from the floor this season. Caitlin Clark knocks down the 3. For that Sweet 16 run for Iowa last year, she's got 9 points, 3 3-point field goals. Gabby Marshall. Joyner blocked by Clark. Joyner wins the battle for the rejection.
Clark for 3! Kylie Feuerbach for 3! Basket by Clark!
Hauls it down, gets it to Caitlin Clark. Hawks by 5. Clark all the way to the rim. Shot goes.
Caitlin on the push, runs into some traffic, stops, pops from 3, bucket. And she'll reset the whole package. Steps through the double team, good fake, gets it up to the hoop and scores. Under a minute to go here in the first half. Clark, hard to the hoop, off the glass, scores. Jags chance to cut it to single digits here. Clark with the steal, though, will stop that thought. She scores.
Second opportunity, no. Fight going for a third, and it's off the back end. And now a home run pass up ahead to Marshall, and she lays it in.
We talk so much about Caitlin Clark's ability to score, but her ability to facilitate is really what makes her such an elite point guard. And it's so difficult when you have so many pieces that are consistently missing as Clark pulls it.
And there it is. Over 1,000 career points in just 40 games.
New records to break. Caitlin Clark doing just that. The fastest player to reach 1,000 points. Plays the game the right way and is somebody that a lot of young girls are looking up to and someone who's so good for the future of our game.
Already has 2 triple-doubles. As she gets to the cup and draws the foul, and a free throw coming for Caitlin Clark.
Player, you have to be able to score at all 3 levels. Clark doing just that, and she plays with contact continually. We're on the same page here.
Maybe we ought to bring that to Carver, huh, Pat?
Maybe we should just get a Carver code next time we're there.
Somebody needs to get Caitlin Clark.
We haven't even seen what this Iowa team can necessarily do. Still so much time left in the season.
Clark with 2 seconds. Clark with 1. And did she get it off? Yes, indeed, at the buzzer.
And stare at the television. Just a little hesitation to go. To have the awareness of time and score, clock expiring, bodying up and letting it fly just as the red light goes on.
30 straight games with double-figure scoring, and as you talked about in the Open, Megan, the fastest player in Big Ten women's basketball history to get to 1,000, and she's on the board with her first field goal of the game. This could be a huge opportunity for Northwestern, who's had their last 3 games canceled. They were supposed to take on Oregon before Christmas, didn't have that opportunity. And the rebound for Jillian Brown, and Northwestern has Iowa right where they want them. A good block that time from Caitlin Clark into the front court, and finishes at the rim.
She had an open move to the basket before shooting.
Clark. Defense in the dust, and a little wiggle to the basket.
She was coming off the bench for Northwestern earlier in the season, providing that scoring spark, now slipping into a starting role due to some injuries, and Caitlin Clark just money with that step back 3. She loves to have that right to left crossover. Caitlin Clark, that's her move. She loves the step back, right to left crossover.
Place of Markowski, who's picked up 2 quick early fouls. Shelley for 3. Very quick pace between these two as Clark speeds up ahead, beats every Husker back for 2.
Hey, right here, Caitlin Clark just turning people around. You're not ready to guard if she's going up and shooting in transition like that. You see the double team pressure down inside, and that next player rotating to the ball. Very good execution from Nebraska.
Clark from the wing gets her first 3-pointer today. Clark patient in the pick and roll with Sonano. She will step back. Long range 2 is good. She looks right at the crowds here along the sideline. She set the Pinnacle Bank Arena single game scoring record. 39 points last year.
Well, she's a monster.
And she proves it right there.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, she has 19 points now.
A nice runner off the pass. In transition now, Clark against tough defense.
Wow.
But finding the open teammate in the lane, and Sonano, Boilermakers can't convert on the baseline inbound. That's Caitlin Clark going to work against Layden. Tough drive in the lane and gets her first bucket of the evening. Taiwo unable to get that shot. Nice entry pass in transition. McKenna Warnock really seeing the development of Ricky Woltman. She's got 4 points, 2 for 2 from the field in this first half, but on the other end, Caitlin Clark coming right back down.
Clark has the freshman Widener on her, forced to throw it across the floor. Abby Marshall lights up this crowd.
Yeah, almost had a triple-double again. 9 boards, 8 assists.
Stolen by Kate Martin, who's been an all-out effort player this first half. Clark.
The fancy ball handling by Caitlin Clark being disrupted.
And Peyton forces the steal. Ruby Porter crisscrossing the paint and turns it right back to the Hawkeyes. Marshall, when she sets her feet, Caitlin Clark, always a playmaker at every part of the floor, and a score 2 and 1.
check out the highlights from a really great day of hoops in the conference.
Clark is right there, so she will just put that away. Next year, Caitlin Clark weaving her way through, drops it off for an easy 2 to Sinano.
But Clark's impact from a facilitating standpoint is what absolutely kills.
Clark wiggling her way through, and she gets 2, making the difficult look easy.
I didn't see any contact on that play. That looked like a clean block, but possession 1, 2, 3 jerseys get in, and just that little bit of quickness.
Has started every game since mid-December. Sinano has it stripped. Clark for 3, yes. Very close defense by Deja Winters, sticking her hand in. Clark for 3, yes. Jasmine Powell now on Clark. We saw Deja Winters on her earlier, this time off the screen, off the mark for Clark. Another look at 3, she has got it. No surprise to see Martin there in the rebound. She had 9 against Minnesota in a dominant 56-point win, and that is the Iowa basketball identity. Can't get that to drop, and Clark will attack on the other side, takes 1 crossover dribble, and she goes all the way. Anastasieska must have lost that, a wild shot. They try to stop Clark, but it doesn't work. She goes all the way coast to finish for 2.
Iowa Hawkeyes are on the move. Caitlin Clark with the defensive rebound. Now she can be an initiator. Nobody.
The freshman from the Twin Cities, that's good for her first points. As Clark on the other side counted, and the foul.
She had 32 points, 17 in the 4th quarter alone.
That's what I'm saying. It can become an avalanche.
Here's the last possession.
Well, right here, she missed that. She missed that last shot, but on the previous possession, she got that 3 ball to fall. We're not going to try to slow the pace down. We want to push tempo and get quick offense on the other side as well.
Caitlin Clark from deep.
One thing Caitlin Clark knows how to do. She can pull from 2.5. Well, how about the possession-saving offensive rebound that she just went through the mud and 3 Penn State players to get. Trying to figure out how to free their players up in that kind of defensive scheme.
Caitlin Clark from the logo! What can Caitlin Clark do?
Making the shots that they were in that 2nd quarter when Penn State scored those 30 points. And give credit to Iowa in that regard defensively.
Caitlin Clark was like, well, I don't have 20 points yet. Let's change that in 1 shot. This is this is a straight up problem for the league and the rest of the country if she's back to hitting 3s the way she was last year.
Both teams kind of trying to find that offensive rhythm. Warnock back to Clark. Free throw line jumper is good.
And that's a shot Northwestern's going to live with. You know, Caitlin Clark is going to get her point. Very capable of, sort of proto Burton in terms of being able to get her hands in passing lanes.
Gets the assignment on Clark here. Miscommunication, and Clark is able to go to the basket and put it in. And creates the turnover.
Love to see Courtney Shaw slip that pass across to Leah Hartman. That's the next step for her.
Clark up top, steps into a 3. 10 to shoot. Back up top to Clark. Crossover, step back 3. Oh, yeah! Huge shot from Caitlin Clark. Off the dribble 3 from Caitlin Clark. We'll see it again here.
Yeah, there's nothing Veronica Burton can do about this. You don't want Caitlin Clark to drive past you. She puts a hand in her face, and Clark just shoots over the top.
Ohio State has been the Big Ten's best three-point shooting team at 40% as a team. That was J.C. Sheldon knocking down the tray there, and a quick 5-0 start for the Buckeyes. But Caitlin Clark at the opposite end has something to say about that.
For that inline. But watch right here, Caitlin Clark, oh my goodness, she knows where the basket.
Ohio State having some trouble corralling it in the post. They need to limit turnovers today. Caitlin Clark, deep 3.
Well, Iowa has been fantastic to start this game. Pace of play, Lisa Bluter says. Well, she's the most vocal leader, high basketball IQ, Kevin McGuff says.
has a bounce in her step tonight, and I'm nervous about it because we've seen her explode. Mud gathering that offensive board and put back.
Look at this! Wow! Caitlin Clark, the Jordan shrug. We don't know how she did it.
Caitlin Clark, we told you she had a twinkle in her eye, folks.
Set play here for the Hawkeyes as Clark, a step back, up and good. Beautiful move there. Hawkeyes, Caitlin Clark has led the Hawkeyes.
Badgers needed that fresh breath of fresh air, and they got it in the form of a Brooke Schrammick jumper. Now let's see if they can guard against Iowa.
Up and good for two. And once again, Hawkeyes pushing the tempo, but as we were mentioning, Sydney Hilliard out, personal leave of absence for Wisconsin. A nice take as we get a second look at Clark going to the hole through the contact and one finish. LU for two for Wisconsin. Wisconsin finds themselves within 8 as a nice move there from Clark.
She has been magnificent.
Are you kidding me? Caitlin Clark from the logo.
Watch Caitlin Clark right here. You think she's setting up offense? No, she's winding up for a triple.
She said, if I had transferred earlier in my career, I wouldn't be having the time of my life right now. Holy smokes, another deep three.
But watch right here. Hey, Kevin Durant, I know you're a big fan of Caitlin Clark. How about that one? That's her second logo three.
Her and Caitlin Clark just continue to rewrite the history books. And we have been treated to a gem tonight. Clark again. Double team, no problem.
The defense did everything they could do. They're draped on her, Matt. Look at this. Everybody's around her, and she finds a crevice. Oh, and knocks it through. Look at this. Right in between two defenders in her face. It doesn't matter.
Cutting after getting a post touch to Sonano and opening up assists.
Here's a steal by the sophomore Caitlin Clark. She'll go all the way in for the layup. He has a block by Laura Bagwell Katalinich. And Minnesota down court quickly. Here's a tip away by Kate Martin into the hands of Caitlin Clark. Down the lane off the body of Sarah Scalia, and doesn't get the shot to fall. Here comes Minnesota with a chance to tie on a three-point ball on the inside. Nice block by Caitlin Clark.
Miller really wanting the ball. Spinning. That Bibby knocked it right back to her, but now here's a 1-on-3. Clark waits for some help. Sonano running the floor well and finishing with her left. Miller had it taken away. Sonano forces the turnover. Marshall, she's unguarded. Got it!
Caitlin Clark off the pass. Has the time and space, knocks it down. Great execution, time and score. Brenda Fries knew exactly what she wanted and got it.
Caitlin Clark to end the quarter. Got it on the bank!
Push the pace for IU. And Caitlin Clark gets the return steal off the bad pass from Pat Burke. Nice pace evolving. Sonano gets deep in the post. They left Cardano Hillary on an island down there.
Moore McNeil coming in.
Moore McNeil tried to get it underneath into Brown, and the pass was errant, and that's back-to-back Indiana turnovers. Clark down low to O'Grady, and Iowa extends the lead.
In the Big Ten tournament, that extra day of rest.
Warnock from deep.
Will probably be in the 30-point range.
Great seal by Martin, and it left O'Grady open, but she couldn't take the shot. And instead, Caitlin Clark will bury her first three of the game. Lead of the game at 21. Great look at that.
18 points for Sonano already. Imagine if Clark starts heating up from the three-point land.
Here's Clark again on the drive and banks it in.
The Hawkeyes are not super strong on the defensive side of the ball, so Indiana needs to keep getting ball reversals.
Clark for three. It's good. Caitlin Clark do things like this. I mean, what more could you want in an app?
There's nothing more I could want in an
A great asset for Indiana in her nearly 2 seasons in Bloomington. 2-point lead for the Hoosiers. It's now tied as Caitlin Clark is into double figures with 11. And it goes to Addison O'Grady, back out to Marshall. 5 to shoot. Clark, step back. Only player in the conference who can hit that shot.
You're going to hit threes. You might as well make it interesting. Give us a logo 3, Caitlin Clark. As an opponent, Cardano Hillary is like that little sister that just won't leave you alone. Just such a pest getting in there.
Caitlin Clark, bucket in the foul.
Beating Iowa. It's not just about beating Caitlin Clark. It's about playing well heading into the Big Ten tournament in Indianapolis. That's Clark from deep for 3. Got her shooting shoes on here.
Yeah, really nice job here. She's so good at moving without the basketball when she doesn't.
A one and done, a good walk. It's off of Clark's shin, not a kick ball. The All-American into the front court. She's looking to score, dumps it down to Sanano, and that's exactly what we're talking about.
Her teammates find her, and when she's in the open floor, hey, watch out. The double team comes, and she is going to find you.
She had 8 in the win on Monday night against Indiana. And that's picked off by Clark again. Dixon this time without the challenge.
Allowed her to go to the hole, but good job getting it back, but boy, you can't do it twice. That is their style of play. They want to muck it up. They want to make it messy. And they want to force you to play a little bit off kilter, so to speak, to what you typically would play.
Clark leading the 3-on-1. Clark backing away. Spin move. And the opportunity for 3.
Clark from the logo. Her first strike from downtown, and she drains it. Are you kidding me? Leah Brown ran into the screen. Amy Dilk is now into the game, and her pass is picked off, and an easy one for Clark. Ophelia has done a very good job guarding Caitlin Clark. Until now, that's why you don't let her catch it. Look at the footwork, catch and shoot, ready to score, gets her hips and her shoulders turned around, gets her feet down fast like Stephanie. Get the floor spread, Clark pulls up, deep 3 and hits it!
Northwestern still leading by 4. Clark again threading the needle inside with one arm, and Grady finishes easily.
You can tell Courtney Shaw was not ready for that pass. It looked like she was positioning herself to rebound.
Caitlin Clark drains the 3. I don't think that touched anything. Martin forcing her way baseline. 8 seconds left. Clark unloads and knocks down another 3. That's her second on 3 tries today.
Caitlin Clark just phenomenal. Shot clock under 10 seconds, and she just pulls with the gooseneck from the top. Nice pitch out, and that's what they had down the stretch yesterday against Minnesota, and that made a huge difference in the second half. So if you can do it once, you can do it twice.
Caitlin Clark again, her 4th.
Rhea's mom, she's right there on the court with her as a youngster, so it's really fun.
Caitlin Clark knocks down her first shot.
There as they lose possession, but right here, looking comfortable, yanking that 3 ball.
Into O'Grady, who has it deep, almost stripped by Moriarty, and Clark for 3. Yes.
Cape pulling this 3, her second made 3 of the game. Just missed short there with Markowski.
Clark drains the long 3. That's got to make the Iowa bench.
Running right alongside. And Caitlin Clark, look at the flick of the wrist and the gooseneck.
Clark gets it against Shelley. And again off the glass, she floats it and 1.
Taking a look here, Caitlin Clark turns the corner. Terry Moore challenge her. The way to get on the basketball court is to defend. Be a defensive stopper for our team. Well, you can't go under a screen. Okay, early communication on on-ball screens is really important. Number 1, you have to go over the top. Number 2, if you're Caitlin just needed to calm down a little bit, see where she could get to a good point of attack to connect with her teammates.
Grace Berger. Their leading scorer, and there she is, Clark, count it.
They lead the Big Ten, they are second in the country, gotta get back. Mackenzie Holmes not in position to help on.
Rebound by Martin, and here's Clark in the open floor. Hounded by Patberg. Splits the defense and scores.
Oh, that was a tough two right there. Oh, Caitlin Clark right here going at two defenders, splitting them.
Again, we were talking, they pride themselves on that aggressive defense, almost 12 steals a game last year. Lob into Sonano, goes up. She scores.
Of course, yeah, it's definitely not dirty, and what they're doing is just being real physical. But Caitlin Clark's different.
Clark hits Iowa's first three. Gives it to Clark. Heat check.
Got it. Wow. Clark just woke everyone in here up with that shot.
6 in a row for Caitlin Clark on 2 trips. Martin dribbles to the top. Stelkew checked in. Sonano. Clark, deep three.
Wow.
Count it.
Smart decision to not put a heavy press on early. You don't want Caitlin Clark to get in a groove of picking apart your defense to start.
Lob into Sonano. Goes up, scores.
Came off of that same pass where there was a help defender and they stole it. So definitely got to watch out.
Clark, long three. Count it. Caitlin Clark, 5 quick points. 7-2 Hawkeyes lead. Caitlin Clark, pick at the top of the key. She's got a free run at the layup. And she makes it. Davis, quick handoff to Clark. Maya Clark on her, off the glass, rolls it in. So she can shoot it. Clark fakes the pull, fade away, count it. Tied at 14. Bruins retake the lead. Clark to the hoop. Bartley steps in late, gets the foul.
Attack and get to the paint. Bartley comes in late, a little too aggressive. And Caitlin Clark there, one of the best finishers around the rim.
Sonano, big battle on the block with Bartley. Clark, fadeaway three. Oh my goodness. Hawks still in the zone. Steal, Clark on the push.
That's a pull up.
You know it's going up. She got it.
Heat check and she makes it. Clark is too nasty.
Sonano from 15 misses. McKenna Warnock, great rebound. Caitlin Clark, pull up three. Look out,
wow. She's unstoppable.
Now in the starting lineup. Clark, all she needs is about a millimeter of space.
And the step back. Knows the defender's going to be chasing, uses the shot fake, and here just creating space.
Has not gotten a shot off, does have 5 rebounds. Sonano and Clark combining for half of Iowa's scoring, and that is another. Clark with the pick.
I don't think you can go underneath that double screen with Diamond Johnson. She lives for these moments, as does Caitlin Clark on the other end.
Caitlin Clark now facing some pressure from Wilkie and Pospisilova, but oh my goodness, look at Caitlin Clark outmaneuver 2 players on the Badgers faithful. And there are a lot of different players getting involved. Look at the speed from Caitlin Clark, just bodying her defender. And that one goes off the rim, rebounded by Wilkie, shot is up. That one goes off the rim too, rebounded by Caitlin Clark. And here come the Hawkeyes. Clark with her first 3-point shot of the game, and it is made. Absolutely. Take a look at this. So Caitlin Clark, as I mentioned, got her own board, just hustles up the court, scans everyone, notices she's outnumbered, so just decides, you know what? Marshall trying to figure out what she's going to do. Passes it to Stolke, back to Clark. Clark with a shot from the logo, and it is made. Caitlin Clark, it's unreal, Max. It really is. 2 for 3 from behind the arc. Of the 25 points for Iowa, 23 of them are by just 2 players. Yeah, absolutely. Warnock has really impressed so far this game. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You can see the strategy coming out in the second half, though, for Wisconsin. Get the ball down low in the paint. Try to use a little bit of your size advantage with your forwards. So Caitlin Clark with that layup.
It's hard to play without her having the ball in her hands also while she's out there. There she is, the step back, a little Doncic-like, and Caitlin Clark finally hits her first basket of the night. And they're doing it with the 3-ball. Clark tries to respond and does. You can support as well by visiting v.org/Stewart. 100% of those donations goes to research, and there's Caitlin Clark out of the timeout for the lead for Iowa. Their tendency on out-of-bounds plays is for Caitlin to get it right back, and then watch the screen right here after the post entry.
Best in field goal percentage in the country, so efficient, so effective. The fact that she now has her second foul, that is bad news for Minnesota.
Caitlin Clark going to the free throw line for one.
Clark recognizing the situation. How about the answer by Minnesota? They get down early, but they've made some good mid-range shots to keep themselves in it here.
Sonano and one, splitting defenders and the finish.
They'll put the ball on the floor and they'll attack, and they will find open teammates. They throw it away there, but they got that attack mentality.
Minnesota trying to thread the needle. Clark in rhythm. Yes.
Was so good in transition. Davis feeding ahead. The spot up. You got to get a hand up if Caitlin Clark catches the ball on the wing.
Gabby Marshall setting up this half-court offense for the Hawkeyes. Clark patient in the paint, the reverse and one.
To be there as Caitlin Clark went on the backdoor cut and just.
Clark step back three. Rattles it home. Hawks needed that one. Hawks will probably look for a quick 2-for-1 here. Marshall for three. Got it, Gabby Marshall.
They're just trying to go player up on Caitlin Clark and just live with what they can everywhere else.
Sonano, quick spin to the left hand, beats Wolf. Stokey, good back cut there. Finishes that one on the pass from Clark. Air ball, Clark gets the rebound. Oh, what a bounce from Clark to Warnock. She saw that coming, she had it all set up. Lobs into Sonano, back out to Martin. Thought about the three, gave it back to Clark. Clark will take the three, got it.
They're broken every single time she touches the court. This one, another one, the fast.
Misses, rebound goes to Clark. Clark pushes it up. Draws the contact, gets the bucket.
Clark just hit her with about 6 different moves. Gave her a combo piece, biscuit on the side, got the.
Gives it to Stokey. Martin, back to Clark for three. Give her 20.
Yeah, I mean, I could have told you that one was going in.
Taking it away is Martin, so crafty defensively, and then back from Clark for two. The All-American as the clock ticks down to 5. Beautiful give and go, and a 3 to ignite this crowd.
Carver Hawkeye Arena just takes your time, steps into the defender, creates the space. The Hawkeyes up by 8.
A team that's 10-2 this season, got off to the best non-conference record since Katie Gerald's freshman year, and there's Caitlin Clark with her second 3 tonight.
But back on the offensive end, the quick skip pass. You have to extend because Caitlin Clark can go any direction on you at any time.
Martin into the paint, a lot of black jerseys that leaves open Caitlin Clark, and she drills the 3.
You have to work to be successful in this league.
They're going to have to work to guard Caitlin Clark in that beautiful pick and roll game early on.
But now she's taking that next step by looking to score more.
That's a really fun matchup between her and Sonano today. Caitlin Clark behind the screen, drills a 3.
It's a great way to put it, deceptively fast. You cannot get caught behind a screen. Iowa assistant coach Jan Jensen, and has just loved Iowa her whole life.
Oh, what a tough drive from Caitlin Clark. Just adding on to that everlasting highlight reel of hers.
So Clark reading the defense, comes around, finishes a little away from the basket, so she avoids getting blocked. Almost lost it, but yet, she got it to the basket. I don't know how she did that.
Just brilliant basketball today at the opposite end. Clark, a quick answer.
Ophelia started out on Caitlin Clark. There's a switch there. So Maddie Nolan on the block as Clark crosses her over, takes it high off the glass, score the bucket. We're tied at 2. Clark, one of those distance attempts, swings it up. Look out. Marshall to stop it with 2.3 seconds left.
Well, you know she likes that left step back. She doesn't need a lot of time or a lot of space. And Caitlin Clark just nails it. And that's a good contest. That's just a heck of a shot.
Good contest, better shot.
Better shot. McKenna Warnock coming down with it. That was a heck of a rebound.
That was a heck of a rebound. Almost all one-handed. Caitlin Clark in the end one.
Great start for the Wildcats. Wood hitting a 3. She's the team leader in 3-point percentage.
Super pass there from Clark inside to Sonano. She scores the. Warnock swings it to Martin. Inside, low block. Good dump inside. Sonano can't handle it. Clark, long 3. Got it. Tied at 10 on the Clark 3 ball. Warnock with the rebound. Goes to Clark. Dribble drive. Shakes off the defender. Comes back to the right hand and scores the layup. Good steal there from Northwestern as Wood takes it away. Loud. Stolen back by Clark. She's got a falter on the run. Lobs it ahead. Gets the left-handed layup.
McKenna Marisa's 100th career start. Feed inside to Sonano for 2.
Sonano steals up the line. You see Penn State trying to front, so it's not a super easy look.
There's an open look for Caitlin Clark. Don't ever do that.
You can't forget the inbounder.
Report with Naz and Justine coming up from Chicago right after this. And Clark forces a turnover on the other end. Caitlin Clark, knock it off. And you've been almost taken aback at how frequently they're doing the press, but Iowa hasn't allowed them the opportunity to do it so far today.
Well, no, because they're scoring like that as quick as possible. They're forcing nearly 22 turnovers a game as Clark just gets it and she takes off to avoid the contact.
Both teams really trying to involve the post players early. Clark gets a screen, pulls up, wing triple, got it.
You cannot give Clark an inch, a centimeter of space. Big threes, but meanwhile, Caitlin Clark still yet to get as hot as she's used to, but she's had a couple big shots, an and one.
Skates off the front of the rim. Hawkeyes trying to weather the storm. Clark spinning, throwing up a circus shot, and one.
This is her will. Watch here as her strength just dips that left shoulder into the defense, gets her eyes locked on the rim. And
brings down the board, trying to push for Iowa. Spinning into the lane, hanging and finishing. Caitlin Clark evens things at 48. Martin with the basketball. They get it to Clark.
Ooh.
Working on Joyner. Going to the lane, spinning, fade away. Got it! Caitlin Clark.
The kick out to McMahon for the deep ball, bounces out, and the rebound by Caitlin Clark. Clark just one shot attempt early in this game, driving and kicking to her counterpart, Monica Sonano.
Coming down in transition. When she crosses half court, she recognizes that she has theory beat, and then if she gets to the basket, watch her eyes. She surveys and makes a quick decision of where she needs to get the ball. From the post game, both teams have it.
Caitlin Clark!
Well, pass shot, 36% when she walks in the gym.
Yes, from the move. Clark with the steal. Caitlin Clark with the layup.
We're getting a little too fancy at the end there, but overall, nice momentum by Nebraska.
Clark, there you go. Caitlin Clark gets Iowa on the board. Made a run to the Sweet 16 last year before losing to Michigan and then transferring to Nebraska. There's Clark. That's what she does. She's hit 2 from deep. Great pass inside. Unable to finish. Bourne.
That was a dime, though. You said it.
Well, Shelley almost got the steal. How about Clark? Oh, she is so smooth.
It's tough to gamble
against Caitlin Clark.
Clark already, Sarah, 14 points.
It is banger after banger around the back, deep three, got it to go in transition. I mean, this is nasty. Look at that, and does it with such ease. Yeah, a little bit.
Diamond Miller picked up that foul early. A couple of games ago, she got into foul trouble against Michigan, fouled out.
Clark, oh yeah! Off to a hot start.
She told us earlier that part of the reason why she grew up playing with boys.
Stolke, a local player from Cedar Rapids. Crowd into it. Miller back into the game, lost it. Here comes Clark. The flick ahead to Stolke, beautifully done. She's right at the top with Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. As Warnock turns it over. Reese, of course, the Maryland transfer. Myers gets blocked by Clark out of bounds. It's going to stay here.
See Caitlin Clark coming in from behind. That's smart. Don't get the foul call.
Maryland has done enough on the offensive end to not let Iowa run away as they've been efficient. Clark connects, plus the foul.
And one.
Oof. Clark being guarded by the freshman. Lob inside. How did that get there to Sonano?
They're guarding Marisa one-on-one, but the moment she drives, that help comes over, and Marisa's had no room to maneuver.
Clark up and under. She makes anything look easy.
To come up out of her stance, and therefore Clark has the ability to go, and then just stepping through.
5 seconds on the clock for Davis. Clark, step back, yes.
And she's done a good job stepping up into this role and learning on the fly. As a point guard in the Big Ten, you get immersed in a lot of, oh my gosh.
Behind the back. Are you kidding? Caitlin Clark.
I mean, that looked easy. Like you said, it's a high level move, but she makes it look so simple. And going down, I mean, you gotta run like three-way jerseys at her. Ooh, behind the back. McKenna Warnock. Point guards have eyes in the back of their head. Clark didn't even see Warnock necessarily.
We had that T-shirt made up last year, and they sent me one. You know, I was like, oh wow, that's awesome.
Caitlin Clark, her first shot of three.
How about Caitlin Clark flying around here with a cape on?
More McNeil.
That was a good, clean look.
Home run pass to Warnock, and she pays it off.
Basketball, but Caitlin Clark, the quarterback for the Hawkeyes, right up top to Warnock for the finish. And she's like, yeah, there we go.
Here is Clark. No points in the quarter. And changes that with a step back rattling down.
She knew she hadn't scored yet.
Tipped away by Clark into the front court. And Clark stops the 7-0 Indiana run.
Really active Iowa team, but really mandatory with the way they're able to score so quickly, not giving extra possessions. Caitlin Clark starts things off with a three. It was 5-0 Iowa. Forcing it up, Cassandra Brown. Still no other Scarlet Knight with a bucket except for Kayleen Schmeichel. Can't find a better post-entry pass than that. In some foul trouble, she was limited against Indiana. Clark takes it away and goes all the way. Monica Sonano, second and third respectively, all-time in Iowa career scoring. The 7th turnover for the Scarlet Knights. Clark feeding Marshall.
Basketball pass receivers, and Sarah Williams with another quick shot and a score. 12-5. Here's Caitlin Clark on the inside, pass down low to Monica Sonano. Out on the left baseline, working the perimeter. Molly Davis looking for Sonano. They skip pass, now back on top. Clark, shot from 27 and good for Caitlin Clark. Crossover dribble, she'll shoot the 12-footer. Back of the iron, not good, and McKenna Warnock down with the rebound. Here comes Caitlin Clark on the move on the inside. Long three ball, yes! Easily 30 to 32 feet away.
Caught something right to the nose, too. She's wiping her nose, but can't move your pivot foot.
Monica Sonano coming back in for Hannah Stolke.
Wilkie getting out to an early start. That's her second triple of the game so far today.
Well, she started the game with that first triple. On the inside, Caitlin Clark Nice reverse layup with the right hand and a score.
That was nasty. Searches for what would be one of the signature wins for their NCAA tournament resume. Caitlin Clark wastes no time hitting her first shot.
The depth and the outstanding play in the Big Ten.
Caitlin Clark, another one from deep, her second three so far today.
This event for Iowa. Caitlin Clark is already moving it. She's hauling along that baseline, ready for that catch and shoot.
Give herself 9 points on the afternoon, but Caitlin Clark wastes no time in answering.
I think that was about 3 seconds of time. Markowski was saying they're pulling my arm down on that shot.
Clark off the glass and good. She'll head to the line with a three-point play.
Caitlin Clark has the ball right here, number 22 in black. She's going to turn the corner, create some contact there, and then take the hit by Markowski at the rim.
Miller misses that shot. Here comes Caitlin Clark, yet to shoot today. Didn't take long. Book it.
Mike, you can't wait.
They're the reigning Big Ten tournament champions. It's not that they don't want that this year. What they really want is a deep run in March. Clark unloads from deep. Caitlin's second three-pointer of the evening.
The rhythm on the dribble with Caitlin Clark, the bounce, the right to left cross step back every time. It is so difficult to close the gap because she's gotten so much better at getting to the rim.
She hit 9 three-pointers.
Well, and Mike, you're used to seeing Caitlin Clark all over the floor, right? With the ball, without the ball. I mean, like great scorers do, logging a lot of miles.
I think Iowa right now is feeding off it. The question is, can they sustain it as this first quarter continues to go on?
Clark, there she goes again. Yes!
You have to guard Caitlin Clark even before she crosses half court. What's that, about 26 feet? When she's going to her left and in rhythm, she's going to drain it for them to stay as attached as they can, play through Mackenzie Holmes. She needs to see the weak side.
Needs some help. Threw it away. Picked up by Clark. In transition, Marshall, yes. Martin looking. Here's Clark. She fires, and it goes! She hit it! Wow!
Screen, another screen. More McNeil trying to get around, runs into Sonato, and just look at that, off balance, going to the right. Doesn't matter if everyone knows whose hands it's supposed to be in. Magic happens when magic happens, and we've seen it a lot with Caitlin Clark.
And a legendary career adds another page in the legend.
4 hours south of of Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Both teams have the same colors, so it's hard to tell who's who, but we can tell.
Deep for Laisha Petrie. And Clark pushing, and that's exactly what she does. Full head of steam for two. She's a 26% three-point shooter this season, knocked down 2 of her attempts yesterday. None bigger than the one with 4.1 seconds left. Here's Clark off glass.
Man, that thing popped out like somebody hit it from underneath.
Caitlin Clark, what can't she do?
And Brenda Freeze said she had a loss in her family recently and was very emotional once they got here, but it was good to see her play the way that she was.
See the pressure from Miller and Sellers once she crosses half court. From Minnetonka, Caitlin Clark, another three.
Example of what hard work and perseverance, taking Gabby Marshall out of what she wanted to do from the three-point line.
That would have been quite a play by Sellers. Couldn't quite get the spin. Caitlin Clark. That's what she does, just right up the floor.
Superwoman has entered the building. Caitlin Clark, just over half court, just pops that triple in. She's like, oh, we're going to run a play. No, we're not. Calling play 22 for 3.
Both teams had double byes, so they didn't play until Friday, but still their third game in as many days. Clark backs up and hits nothing but net.
Clark's got 5 early points. You cannot give her that much space. Ohio State getting all jump shots, all perimeter contested jump shots.
Clark looking for Sonato. And sometimes she makes a pass and you're thinking there's no way that's going to connect. go along with 27 points, 7.5 rebounds, and she does also a great job of getting to the free throw line.
Early in her career, she was trying to take the contact, shoot it off of 1 foot.
Ohio State had been starting, now coming off the bench for Coach McGuff, get some size.
Caitlin Clark, you can't give her that much space, Taylor Theory.
Resetting here, looking to get it to Stolke down low, and she does. Stolke's gonna kick it out to Clark from deep, knocks it down. Caitlin Clark with her first triple of the season. Molly Davis is checked in for Iowa. Checks in for Goodman. Deep three from Clark, and one! She just makes it look easy out there.
What can she not do? That defender was right up on her, and then she fell, and that called the foul, and it's good. Look at that. Ooh!
Look at layup from Toomey goes. 21-9. Iowa already running fast. O'Grady gets it and scores it. Clark has 16 early in this one. Getting those defensive rebounds is crucial for their offensive success. Savalos, nice bounce pass, but it's stolen away. Martin now throwing it up the court to O'Grady. Gets another bucket to go. O'Grady's running the floor incredibly. As that is a rebound there by Molly Davis. And, you know, we're already seeing that. Goodman and her as Clark shoots it and makes another one. Splashes that one.
See what they can apply for this next half. I'm really excited to see what FDU can apply. But, you know, it's still game time. Obviously, it's 6-2, 27. Adding it on right there.
Bucket there from the Knights. Stolke has a little bit of positioning down low. Clark, though, the open three, splashes it home. Can't leave her open.
If the bigs aren't down the floor in the rim run, if they're even with where she is, as Caitlin Clark gets the crafty two, she's so good in transition. And if you can give her a little bit of space. There's Caitlin Clark going to the rim. She knows they're jumping.
K-State shooting 30%. Here is Clark. Yes!
To get Caitlin Clark an in-rhythm shot. Not one where she's standing, not moving, but a quick pin. There's no help. The bigs have been in drop coverage the entire ball game up to this point, and Caitlin Clark able to get going. You can see the frustration. Make that pass a little bit more difficult.
Gotta help out your big. Caitlin Clark knocking down the second three of the day for the Hawkeyes. She's got both of them.
Who gives us the best chance to start and finish the way that we want to?
Clark into the chest of Sanchez. Count it. Falter swings to Davis. Back in the hands of Clark with 5 to shoot. The step back is good.
I mean, this is a tough shot. She makes these shots look easy. She's thankful that that one.
She finds that sweet spot and pulls up.
And Berg lost the handle. Here comes Clark. No numbers for Iowa yet. Late arriving. Driving kick. Davis three. Knocks it down. Well, back to the rim. Dinnebier can't hit. Well, a 13-3 run for Iowa continues with a Clark three.
Extra pass after Feuerbach, and then Caitlin Clark.
And the takeaway. Another turnover. Iowa can go over their total from Thursday night on this trip. And McCabe does. One of the few times tonight Iowa slowed it down in the half court. Clark probing. Off 1 foot. It's pure. Clark was thinking about the logo. And scoops it in at the horn. Clark said that this loss on Thursday would not break us. We talked a lot about the post players getting going for Iowa, getting them chances. 3-point shooting was a big point of emphasis, too. This will be an easy one for Clark. And 2 more. We found Dinnebier on the back end for Drake. Clark wants more. She's got more.
Come on now.
Lane. And we know she could do a little bit of this, a couple steps out. Caitlin Clark. Yeah, just has been a huge part of this city, this state.
Caitlin Clark starting things out with her first three to get Iowa on the board.
Clark threading the needle, and right there is Kate Martin for the easy finish. But find those opportunities, hunt them down.
Yeah, that was really interesting, and I think it's helped her teammates find more confidence.
Clark and one off the curve.
Overlooked by the logo three. She is incredibly well controlled off of the bounce.
Before those back-to-back buckets, the Falcons had been one for the last 11, but they do not get back in a falter. Has an easy two. Kohler, the freshman, staying in with her three personals. And Kohler going right at Clark, and she smothers that shot.
I think you watch those first couple games, the Virginia Tech win, it was a lot of Caitlin Clark, but now it's Caitlin Clark and company.
Clark determined to find that stroke as she points to the crowd.
She could have taken a look, but we got to revisit this one. That was really off of one leg from Caitlin Clark. Not sure who she pointed. Nice inside-out offense for the Falcons.
Jimfy running the floor, and she gets rewarded.
Here's Clark looking for her first points of the game. Down the lane, she gets the layup to go and will head to the line. Something I know other coaches have been wanting to keep an eye on for Caitlin Clark. You can just say Caitlin, and everyone knows who you're talking about in the world of sports. Here's a turnover. The Hawks are pushing. Nice feed from Clark and Stuckey. Martin to a cutting Clark for two. And another whistle on the Badgers. She'll head to the line again. She injured her knee last November. Was lost for the entire season. Only played in 5 games then. Only played 3 minutes in that outing yesterday. There goes Clark inside for two.
She's more than just a shooter. She can get to the rim. She can create.
They switch on Clark. 3 to shoot for a falter. Clark will heave it and drop it from way downtown. And she gives the Jordan shrug to the fans. Porter at the buzzer. 10-point lead for the Hawkeyes at halftime. Since the Kansas State loss, her scoring has skyrocketed, and they've gone undefeated 6-0 since. Look at Caitlin Clark split everybody on the floor for the layup.
You want to do offensively, but yes, you're very aware of it. You have someone on the bench that's keeping track of things like that.
Caitlin Clark creates her own rhythm offensively.
Caitlin Clark quickly getting a look and knocking down the first 3 she sees. Spiking ball.
The most important thing in a zone, find the gaps, find the open spots. Caitlin Clark, no one in sight. Boom, baby.
This is a team coming in with a whole lot of confidence. 9 straight wins. Clark finds herself open and her second 3 tonight.
Nice finish there with the contest, and then Caitlin Clark. I mean, if it's not a 35-footer, she's not interested.
Purdue sees her chance and is stopped. Clark perfectly in rhythm. She's got it. 9 points for Clark on 3 threes as Purdue attacks at the rim. Layup not there. Beautiful fast break opportunity. Did the ball even touch the floor? Purdue, a long 3 that just grazes rim. Clark in transition, yes! And now we've got this.
Sloan, she like slipped too. Like she kind of slipped afterwards. You can't see it there. But the fact that Clark is that close to breaking this record, I'm glad someone did the math because I was wondering how many games it would take. But I'm not a math person, so glad to see someone. The math is mathing.
Looking to add more.
You know how special for Clark too. Her parents go to almost every single game. She's only 2 hours away in Iowa City at college. It's a real homecoming game for her though.
3-point play.
I love that she chose to take off from where she did because had she kept going, it gave the defense an opportunity to set up for a charge.
Emma Nolan pulls up from 3, no good back iron, rebounded by Clark. All the way up to Stuckey behind the defense, off the glass and good. Full court pass for Clark to Stuckey. Looking around, has Clark on the far side. Clark pulls up from 3, bang! Caitlin Clark from downtown.
And that's the first of probably quite a few we'll see tonight.
Job by Alyssa Fisher to stick with it, but Caitlin Clark pulling up from 3. Now she drives in, steps back, pull up long 2, no good. Bounces in the air, but rebounded by Sydney Fulter.
And good defense there for the Hawkeyes. You want to waste that shot clock. You don't want early buckets there, and good transition there for Iowa.
Gets a screen from Goodman. Clark at the logo. Dumps inside for Goodman. Off the glass and good. Allie Berg drops down another three. Caitlin Clark with an answer. Has it. After one half, you're watching women's basketball on Big Ten Plus.
Stolke and Tannen, so that's going to be another thing to watch. We see them try to get Tannen involved early as Stolke was able to provide power.
Wide open three for Caitlin Clark with the Ramblers.
Yeah, and the Ramblers are becoming such, they're increasing. Of course, you look at the men's side. They were, a Cinderella team back then and now have moved to the Atlantic 10 Conference. So it's becoming an increasingly steals for Iowa. Good play by Feuerbach. She's been tenacious as well. As we see more plays.
Winning by more than 25 points in that winning streak apiece.
Yeah, both coming off the holiday break, but bringing so much momentum into this game.
Caitlin Clark's got her second layup of the day.
Into the paint a couple of times, dicing through the defenders. It's so hard to keep her in front and to help defense. They know they have a lot to deal with the environment, with the style of play that Iowa has, and just trying to get adjusted.
Caitlin Clark connects from deep. Her first three-pointer of the day.
Fire inside and, of course, out. Caitlin Clark burying the first, getting to the paint, really putting the pressure on this Minnesota defense.
Clark will fire. Caitlin Clark already with 2 3-pointers. She gets a couple more. She's going to be third in Big Ten history in made threes.
Just creating her own space, what she does so well.
Clark's already in double figures today. Spinning in the paint, gets the roll, and one.
In behind, still has the body control to hang and get the shot in. You can see she gets knocked a little bit.
Hart inside, too short. Stolke has the board.
Good defense by Stolke. Just made that a difficult shot.
Look at Kate Martin run the floor and the feed from Clark.
As everybody was falling to the floor, but good hustle plays.
Clark with the step back three.
3 3-pointers. Minnesota's thrown a lot of different defenders at her, but she knows what to do. Just step away, create. Yeah, they've been very deliberate about going inside to Hart. That time, the nice inbounds play.
Has to flex out. Clark has it. A logo three for the Unicorn!
Is tied with Iowa 9-9 here in this quarter, but yeah, the step back, you can't give any space to Caitlin Clark. When you watch her, if you get a chance in all these sold-out games that Iowa.
Big defensive play by Fulter. Sets up the Iowa offense. Nice pass from Clark. That's what they do. Wow.
All year long. Clark's one of those players that you just have to let her, as you see her, get the steal right here.
Cookies. I'm sure they wouldn't mind that.
I know. Clark was at the Chiefs game the other day.
Interception here. Will we go for the pick six? Clark has Joyner on her. She takes it to her through the contact. Extends the lead for Iowa. They're working through A-Wall. Here's Joyner. Just relentless on the ball. Blocked and rejected by Clark.
Excuse me as I pick my jaw up off the floor. First off, Moira Joyner, great job getting this award. Caitlin Clark comes in. Hello.
Davis, time winding down. Are they going to get the ball up in time? Clark for the win. Yeah! She does it time and time again, the 40-piece, and walks off with the W. Wow.
Listen, this is what Caitlin Clark does, folks. Logo threes. It's her signature. That is the most Caitlin Clark way to win a game.
Terrible play-by-play analysis.
Listen, it's always good to have a replay camera. That's the best part about it.
Stolke down the floor. That's too easy. That's the thing that Rutgers has to worry about. I mean, we can make the point all we want. We got to get back. Goodman put it off the glass. 4th double-double of the season. Caitlin Clark finally drills a 3. She had missed her first 4, and now she's got another one. Now Rutgers has taken as many threes here in the first 11 and a half minutes of this ball game as they did in 40 on Tuesday. Martin, nice footwork.
And Caitlin Clark into their two-man game, it is elite because of how well they move with each other.
Clark with numbers, finds a falter. And Iowa has its largest lead of the ball game, up to 13.
And she's done a good job of keeping her balance.
Back to Clark, triggered the inbounds, and that's a wide open 3. Kate Martin was playing a solid 5-6 feet off of Destiny Adams, who has only taken 3 triples all year. Clark got around, the foul on Herder, they'll count the bucket.
Allowed Caitlin Clark to get to the basket. I mean, one-on-one, the help side just shows, doesn't even try to stop the ball, and she just keeps going all the way to the end.
First shot is up. Caitlin Harper just off the mark and quickly the other way. This is exactly what Caitlin Clark and the Hawkeyes do in transition.
Read the defense well, just not getting that one to fall just yet. It's interesting seeing the vision behind the glass with all the fans.
Clark high arcing, why not? What a way to start.
Yeah, Abby Ellis now a couple times. Nice job getting into the paint to create.
Again? Yes! Of course, 2 for 2 from the outside for Clark. When you're the 3rd ranked team in the country, everyone is going to give you their best effort. Gabby Marshall from the corner. Hauled down by Kate Martin. And here's Clark. Transition, money time.
Swinging a golf club as well. She is an insane golfer.
Make it 3 threes, Kim.
Ooh, CC.
We've seen that so far, 7-point game. We're hearing the band. Oh, the behind the back pass and the connection from Stokey.
I mean, are you serious? She made it look so easy. It was just completely in stride. But we have to revisit this. They're playing her tight, a ball fake, no look behind the back pass.
Senior from Greenfield, Tennessee with the bucket, and a foul on the other end.
With the pace of Hawkeyes offense.
Now Clark putting it on the deck, splits the defense and gets his first field goal of the night. She averages 31.
Doesn't get there quick enough, and just the patience she has, she doesn't get sped up.
Clark step back 3, finally.
She has struggled from 3, but be careful. Once Caitlin Clark sees it go through, you see a beautiful job on the step back.
6:23 to play, second quarter. Clark. Step back 3 again. Boom.
Caitlin Clark is done.
I remember against Michigan. Michigan tried to guard Indiana, but it was all IU. They hit their first 15 shots. Caitlin will hit that one down.
Here on the left side for Iowa.
6 seconds. Here comes Clark. Got free. Up. Pure. Caitlin Clark. She's fouled her touch. And that's the end of the first half. She's got 20 in the first half.
It's her to go left, and she loves this high quad left 3 shot.
And we still have a fourth quarter to go. Stolen away by Clark. Outlet pass. Molly D. Front court. Got it up. And in.
Figure out how much time she had to make a decision in that post.
She also loves watching Asia Wilson play.
Oh, behind the back and Brady connects. Stitching dimes already.
Iowa's worried about getting into foul trouble with their bigs. Keep throwing it inside.
Clark, she gets it on the go.
That's her spot. Yep, can't even relax.
Fierbach has an opportunity. Another. Clark. Too much space.
You cannot put your hands down.
Understanding what your strengths and weaknesses are, knowing that Iowa likes to run, so transition defense has to be a key, but you can't try to play to that.
Ronnie Porter. Getting herself to the basket, staying available from three.
Step back, drains it. The rattle does not work in her favor that time. Clark on the run. Well, no one's there. That's a layup for her.
Get ready to watch some great hoops.
Well, there's been so much parity in this league. I mean, the Hawkeyes were the only undefeated team in the Big Ten at 6-0 right now. Somehow Clark finds O'Grady. She has yet to score in this game. She loves this move. Right to the left for a three. She got it.
Yeah. Take a look at this. On the switch here, Theory does a good job early. But boy, when your big switch is out, if you don't get
last game, she has the ability to move this offense for Ohio State out.
Especially when your 5 player is one of your best three-point shooters.
Again!
Oh, change out of the timeout by Lisa Bluter, going to his zone. Again, challenging the three-point shooting of Ohio State. Ricky Harris has answered the call early.
Clark already has a couple. Make it 3. And Sheldon from the corner, just off. And Iowa loves to run in transition. Caitlin Clark will find you. Molly Davis. And one opportunity.
That's what I want to see Ohio State do. Attack off of your defense. Get out and run.
There's so much opportunity in transition. Caitlin Clark needs no space. A falter. No good. And McMahon tries to make it a one-woman break. A little sloppy play right now. Iowa. And turned over.
You gotta be sure of your passes. Fake a pass to make a pass.
Caitlin gets underneath, flips it up.
Caitlin Clark gets by Theory, and again with that foul trouble. Just the reverse, easily lays it up.
Both teams at a breakneck pace to start. You know, it'll be interesting because both of them had a bye week. Clark, long three, and we are now officially underway in this matchup. Iowa getting the start in transition, what they do so well. State, they worked a lot on their offense this past week in practice. Natalie Potts 1 of 16 from 3 in Big Ten play. This is what makes Iowa so dangerous. And immediately a timeout called by Amy Williams. I have 2 others in addition to that. Yeah, and she's never scored less than 30 points against Nebraska in 7 tries. Had 41 in the Big Ten tournament semifinals as she dumps it off to Stolke, and that's how the magic happens. Iowa continuing to attack. So much attention given to Clark that leaves Stolke wide open. Watch how Stolke just moves into the vision, and what a whip pass. Takes confidence, especially as undersized players. Here she's guarding Clark, and Clark's going to put her to work in the post. Yeah, I'm sure Darian White didn't guard anybody like that. Somebody rebound from flat on their back. Can we put that in the box score? That's got to be somehow. Intercepted by Clark. She's one-on-one, goes right at Clark. Her today 43 points shy of surpassing her. 2 to shoot for Clark. She'll need the heroics here. Does it? Is anyone surprised? Was winding down, it gets away from Clark. Look at Jazz Shelley knows, I know she's going to shoot out there, and she still creates the space. And she looks like she made Jazz Shelley think that she was going to use that screen. And instead, and you saw Shelley just lean just a little bit, and that.
Clark, step back. She's comfortable already. 2 points to go.
Can't give her that much space or time. Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin, and she has officially moved on up in the record books, folks. Clark slicing it up to Stolke. How did that pass get through? Stolke now has 12.
Look, the defense for Iowa has been a huge key to their success this season, a reason why they've only lost 2 games.
Nice find from Clark down to a falter. 3 on the evening. Meantime, ball movement by Northwestern. Met at the rim by Clark. Block and the bucket.
Scoring all the time. We talk about her passing, the way she sees the floor, but the block sets it up.
Just hauled down by Feuerbach. Doesn't work on the outside. Why not go inside? Clark. Always look to set things up. Stokey having herself a day.